Kept you waiting, huh? But anyway, welcome back to another long overdue collection update once again. This time I have a bunch of movies. Two stacks are from one from Amazon, the other from Kino Lorber, and the other two aren't. First up, one I got from Goodwill is Fall Boys. I've only seen a little portion of it way back, but I do like James Franco as an actor, and Jean Reno. I almost forgot about that name. But yeah, I do like me some war movies. Saving Private Ryan, Full Metal Jacket, and Platoon being among the ones I enjoy, and not to mention Apocalypse Now. But I digress. I've yet to give that one a watch at some point. First deck I'm going to show you is one from Kino Lorber. I got them all when they were on sale. Got most of them when they were on sale. Two of which, most of them were, forgive me for stuttering. I got them when they were on sale, one of which isn't, but I really didn't care because it was interesting. Most of these titles were on sale because they were being out of print, except for two of them, which I'm going to show you. First up is a silent film called Nosferatu. This was an unofficial adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula novel. They were almost destroyed, most of them, but this film was thankfully restored, is now revered as a historical classic in horror film history. I'm not really sure of it. I've just done a little research here and there. A little hard for me to explain, but I digress. Next title that is not out of print, but was at one point, and is thankfully been reissued. That is Blown Away with Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones. I originally owned the Kino Lorber DVD. Saw this, and I really do enjoy it. Really underrated action thriller, in my opinion, with Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones, who does a really solid performance and is real crazy in the right way, in my opinion. Most of these features listed here were ported over from the first Kino Lorber release, and have yet to give the commentary a listen at some point. The second audio commentary is new to this release, so yeah, I do enjoy it. Next title I have here is, I believe, is gone out of print, if I remember correctly. That is Amazon Women on the Moon. It is being co-directed by 5 directors, 2 of whose films I do enjoy. That being Joe Dante from Gremlins, The Howling, and Inner Space, to name a few, and John Landis of An American Werewolf in London fame. Next title is Catch the Heat, which I own on DVD, but got this because it was cheap and is worth the upgrade over my full screen MGM DVD. Next two are Chuck Norris flicks, one of which is Tough Guys Wear Black, and the other being Force of One. Both have their own set of features, but I'm not gonna name them all out for pacing reasons. I do like me some Chuck Norris, like Missing in Action, An Eye for an Eye, which is an underrated action thriller, and Invasion USA, just to name a few. Never seen those two movies, but again, they'll be interesting. Last title I got from Kino Lorber's site is a Scorpion releasing title, and that is an Eye of the Tiger, which features the song of the same name by Survivor. Love the song, but I've never seen this movie before, so have yet to give this a watch at some point. That's it for all those Kino Lorber titles. Next one are the ones I got from Amazon. That is from Kino Lorber, Dinosaurus. This is a Jack H. Harris production, distributed by Universal Studios. And fun fact, this was more than 3 decades before they went on to produce Jurassic Park. Universal Studios. What a great studio. But as I was saying, it was made by the same production team who created The Blob, with the original with Steve McQueen. Features listed conclude that of an audio commentary, a featurette featuring interviews with the producer behind this, the co-star of this, and 2 film historians, and as always, a theatrical trailer. The one you just saw was the alternate cover art. This is how it originally came, as it is. I like this one better because I thought it looked way cooler. But what can I say? It's been years since I last seen that movie back on HBO, and then rented it back on Netflix when they used to mail in DVDs before they went on full streaming. I have yet to give that one a revisit at some point. As a kid, I thought I enjoyed it. Doesn't hurt to refresh my thoughts. Next up is another title I have yet to upgrade from my DVD collection. That is The Thing from Another World. This movie went on to inspire John Carpenter's remake of this, that it being The Thing from 1982. Only seen this once, and sadly, there's only a theatrical trailer. No interviews, no audio commentary, and no galleries. Which is sad in my opinion, but no big deal. Hopefully Shout Factory and Criterion can give this one a special edition treatment at some point. But moving on. Next up is from MVD, Rewind. That is one of the 2 documentaries detailing the history of Cannon films, one of which was Electric Boogaloo and the other being The Go-Go Boys. The inside story of Cannon films. And fun fact, it does include a collectible mini poster and reversible cover art. Forgive me if I'm not showing it properly, because never mind. What am I saying? What am I apologizing for? It is what it is. But moving on. Cannon Films has produced a lot of cult classics in their in the height of their fame before they went bankrupt at one point in the early 90s. They produced some films I enjoy. Missing in Action trilogy and Invasion USA being among the portion of those movies I enjoy. And Life Force, which is a weird movie, but I do enjoy regardless. Next up is one I've been meaning to complete my James Bond collection with. That is No Time to Die, the final Bond movie in the series, until MGM or Amazon fully announces and fully produces a new one. I've only seen bits and pieces of that movie, but I've yet to give that one a revisit at some point once I get around to watching the Daniel Craig Bond movies after I finish with the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies. Next up to complete the Godzilla collection is Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Seen this way back in the theater, and I really do enjoy it. Speaking of Godzilla, I have 2 Criterion titles, one of which I got from Amazon and the other I got from my brother. First up is 1984 with John Hurt. I've only seen a little portion of it on Encore way back, but would like to give this one a watch at some point. And what really fascinates me is that it features 2 film scores, one of which by Eurythmics, whose music I do enjoy. I've been pondering about getting the Twilight Time release mainly for the isolated score, but what the heck, this one has more features, though it's sad it doesn't have an isolated score. And last but not least is Godzilla vs. Biollante. What really bums me out is that it doesn't include an English dub, which thankfully I do own the original Echo Bridge release of it. But why not? This one has more features, and for sure it will look more gorgeous. It will look more gorgeous on my PS5. Who knows? Only time will tell if Criterion gets around making a box set of the Heisei Godzilla movies. Maybe they'll include Godzilla 1985 as a bonus alongside the original Japanese cut of Return of Godzilla. It would be interesting. But now that I got all those movies out of the way, I digress. Moving on to the games. I have 3 PS2 titles, 2 PS3 titles, 2 on PS Vita, and 3 on PS Vita, and 1 on PS4. There was another Xbox title that I just got, but for some reason I think I lost it. It's somewhere in my room, but never mind about that. First up, 2 of which I got from Zia, or if I could be wrong, it could have been Fallout Games. Next up right here is History Channel's Civil War Secret Missions. This is a first-person shooter developed by Cauldron Games, who are how could I say without putting it lightly? They're not really the most competent out of all the game developers I've heard about, but for sure they but they for sure, when it comes to weapons animations, they put out some well put out attention to detail when it comes to weapons animations. Like, for example, the way how the operator loads 2 or 3 shells at once within the magazine tube. I'm sure you know what I mean. But it'll be interesting. Next up here is Star Wars The Force Unleashed, which, from what I've seen, as far as gameplay goes, and as far as story goes, looks really interesting. Really cool. Next one up, I just got from GameStop. That is Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip. Now, from what I've heard from reviews, wasn't so good, but I really don't care, because I do love the first Zombieland movie. Second movie was, it was alright. But from what I've seen from screenshots, looks really interesting. It might be decent, for all I know. And for some reason, it has a mini manual or a little voucher for Doom 2016. Making sure these games have their discs. Honestly, don't care for manuals, but the discs are all that matter. Alright. Next up right here, 2 PS Vitas I got from eBay, and 1 I got from my brother. As I was shopping through his collection. First up, I have Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. This one got badly reviewed upon release, but for some reason it was successful as far as I know financially. Sadly, this doesn't include a little voucher for Call of Duty Roads to Victory, which is a PS Vita spin-off. And next one up is Sly Cooper Collection. I do own the PS3 remaster digitally, but I thought I'd get this for physical media purposes and for show whenever I get around to doing a review or retrospective of this at some point. Sadly, this physical cartridge doesn't include the third game. For some odd reason, I really don't understand. What were they thinking? And last but not least, for PS Vita, I have Yomawari Night Alone. I don't think I've seen previews of it, but who knows? Maybe I might enjoy it. I'm not really gonna unbox it because I don't think it would be an interesting video. Because long story short, I've been trying to record this video on my webcam, but for some reason, sometime after I got my new PC, I've been having issues with it. Like, for instance, the screen is blacking out and my camera keeps losing signal. I mean, my monitor keeps losing signal to the webcam. That is an issue I'll have to look into myself at some point. hopefully I can find some solutions that would fix my problem. But if not, I'll have to get myself a new webcam. But next one up are three PS2 games I got from my brother. First of that being Jaws Unleashed, which I remember enjoying with my brother when we were kids. You could say what you want about it, but I really like it, regardless how janky it is. Gameplay is still tons of fun. So yeah, really cool addition. Next one up is Resident Evil Dead Aim, which is one of the few Resident Evil titles I have not owned in my collection. From what I've seen, it looks a little interesting. Regardless how much interested I'd be in, it was still worth adding to the Resident Evil collection. Next one up is a rare PS2 title, and this along with the first one are going really rare. That is Obscure: The Aftermath. I also bought myself the original Obscure game for OG Xbox from my brother. Hopefully I phrased it correctly. Like I said, in case I didn't bring it up, I somehow misplaced it in my bedroom here. It is somewhere. I'm not really sure. Either my brother didn't bring it, but no big deal. I've already bought both of them from my brother. Really cool additions from my collection. Thanks for watching. This has been my movie/game collection update. If any of you have seen those movies or played these games before, please feel free to let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Pardon me. Pardon my clumsiness. All fixed. If any of you seen those movies or played any of those games, please feel free to let me know in the comments section down below. And if you enjoy this collection update, don't forget to leave a like, as it truly means your support. Now, I know it's been a while, and I'm sorry for the delay. But like I said, hope you enjoy, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Catch you later.